Chapter 1, Mishnah 9. Having discussed situations where designating olive oil as truma for olives, or vice versa, or wine as truma for grapes, or vice versa, is forbidden, the Mishnah presents cases in which it is permitted. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. But we may separate olive oil as truma for olives that are being pickled, and we may separate wine as truma for grapes that will be made into raisins. Since these olives and grapes do not require significant processing, separating truma from them for oil or wine is a case of separating truma from processed produce for processed produce, which is permitted. The question of whether a person may separate oil as truma for olives or wine as truma for grapes depends on what he intends to do with the olives and grapes. For example, if he intends to eat the olives or grapes, in which case they are already processed, the separation is permitted. But if he intends to crush the olives or grapes, in which case they are not yet processed, the separation is forbidden. The Mishnah discusses cases where one changed his intent after the truma was separated. If someone separated oil, which is processed produce, as truma for olives that he intends to eat, which are also processed, or he separated olives that he intends to eat as truma for other olives that he intends to eat, or he separated wine, which is processed produce, as truma for grapes that he intends to eat, which are also processed, or he separated grapes that he intends to eat as truma for other grapes that he intends to eat. But then he changed his mind and decided to press the olives or the grapes for their oil or wine, thus converting them into produce that is not processed. He does not need to separate truma again. Since the truma separation was valid when it took place because all the produce involved was processed, it remains valid even after he decided to press the fruits and thereby change their current state to unprocessed.